Myers-Briggs is out and the big five is in. Wait, but what's the big five? What? Let's talk about it. All right, so let's talk about the big five and what it's all about. So the big five, also known as ocean, great way to remember this, ocean, okay? So what is it all about? So here we have, and I have a link on the screen, and also you can just type in Google the Big Five personality test if you want to participate and get your test results based off of this personality test. But this one, unlike the Myers-Briggs, is not organized as far as categories, but on a continuum from low to high across 5 different dimensions. And these dimensions are theorized to kind of account for all aspects of who we are, the sum of who we are at its core. Okay, so that is the attempt that we're looking at these 5 dimensions, and it kind of allows us a well-rounded understanding of our personality to some degree. Especially as it relates to the business world and how we interact with business and business success. So the 5 categories we have is openness to experience. So you're open to experience new things. You're not timid. You don't get frightened easily by new things, new processes, new initiatives. You're open to the idea of newness, to change. Conscientious, so you are aware that you and your needs and your ideals and your way of thinking is not the only way of thinking. It's not a right or a wrong way. You're conscious of the multiple ways that individuals can be or situations can unfold. Extroversion, of course, we already saw this in our Myers-Briggs, but the enjoyment of being around others, getting filled up by being around social environments, being more likely to be in the center of social environments, want to be around individuals, desire that. We have agreeableness, so having this desire to have a kumbaya type of experience, more communal, likes to make sure that everyone's feeling good, that everyone's feeling heard, that everyone feels okay and good. And neuroticism is individuals that are emotionally unstable. We likely see them being angry, being excited, being sad, all in a matter of, a couple of experiences within a day. Their emotional stability and their behavioral stability is just not there. Anything could kind of cut them off of their flow or their game. Now, those are the 5 dimensions, and all of us are arranged either low or high. And the low and high of these 5 different characteristics can help us understand different job roles that might fit our personality, different organizations that might fit our personality, and just understand ourselves better overall. For example, when we think about being a police officer, for example, being a police officer is a particular role that someone can occupy. And in this role, there are some personality factors that we would want to see in our police role. And there's some personality factors that we do not want to see high in our police role. When we see this, when we look at this screen, some things that jump in our mind is neurotic. We do not want our police officers to be high in neuroticism, because there is going to be a lot of experiences and situations that a police officer may face where we would want them to be emotionally stable and secure and not kind of falter in any given direction based on experience. We wouldn't want them to be high on agreeableness and say, oh, sorry, officer, I didn't mean to, please let me off, or, whatever the case may be. And they're like, oh, actually, good point, I'll let you off. So we don't want too high of agreeableness either. And of course, we don't want too low, because our role as a police officer is not just to enforce punishment, but also to support the health of the community, so to speak. And so we don't want them to be completely low. And so even just with that example, and we can go on. I mean, obviously in sales, we want someone that's relatively high in extroversion. We don't want someone that is really low in extroversion to be on sales. It's going to be so draining for them. It's going to take a lot of energy for them. It's not going to come naturally for them. It's not going to be a really good fit, especially for the long term and especially for success. So we see too that automatically we have a lot of application with these 5 categories in the low and high, and it also allows us to maintain this idea that our personalities are unique, because with this criteria of personality being on a continuum, there's a more of an infinite way that personality can be arranged among us, because it's on a scale, and because it's on a scale of low to high and on this continuum. So we have some strengths. It's an impressive body of research supports that 5 basic dimensions underlying all personality. And like I stated, this is kind of their underlying assumption. That's the main thing that they want to test, because the question is, well, why these 5? Why are we talking about openness to experience and extroversion? Like, why not another component? Why not confidence? Why not this? Why not that? And so the idea is that these 5 dimensions that they outline that have this ocean, that are arranged in this idea of ocean, underline the basic components of personality, and it kind of contributes to everything else. So that's one of the main assumptions that actually has been supported in the research. It is comprehensive, statistically tested. And again, there's no relationship between the dimensions, the personality dimensions, and demographics. So again, we have something that is relatively unbiased in that way, which is really good. You can look at this in your text for further context. And it just shows why it's relevant and how what it affects. And I kind of just try to give that through that practical example of police officer ourselves, and we can continue to go on. But when we know those 5 characteristics or those 5 dimensions, we can start to align them with not only the job role, but even the organization. Of course, an organization that is rapidly changing all the time, new processes all the time. Someone that has low openness to experience will probably, not like that organization as a whole, even though they may like the job or there may be a fit with the particular job. And so again, we're seeing the how applied personality and the study of personality coming from the field of psychology can impact the way we understand the hiring process, who we want to hire. Are we going to think it's going to, are we making a good fit here with understanding the relationship between personality and organization or the context as a whole? All right, so that's it for this. Definitely check out the other videos, and we're going to be talking about the dark side of personality soon. So definitely stay tuned for that. All right, see you guys next time.